Could that quiet stare, that impossible instinct your dog has, could it be more than just, well, coincidence?
It's a question many people ask themselves, isn't it?
Yeah. For centuries, we've called them man's best friend, which is a comforting title, sure. But what if it doesn't even begin to capture the real depth of that connection? What if dogs were never just... Today, in this deep dive, we're going to explore something pretty extraordinary. It's an ancient Egyptian prophecy, supposedly from Thoth, the god of wisdom.
That's right.
And it talks about a pivotal time when animals, specifically dogs, would awaken, not just as companions, but as actual profound guides.
Guides, yes.
So our mission here is to unpack this ancient idea and look at how, well, surprising observations from our world right now seem to echo it. Like maybe this prophecy is actually unfolding in our living.
It's a compelling thought.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What if dogs weren't brought into our homes mainly so we could care for, but maybe so they could care for us? What if that bond isn't just biology, but something, I don't know, spiritual?
Well, Thoth, for those familiar with ancient wisdom traditions, wasn't just a myth. He was seen as, the architect of thought, the keeper of hidden records.
Okay.
The one who encoded truths that maybe humanity wasn't quite ready for yet. His teachings often survived only in fragments, sometimes veiled in riddles scattered across different texts.
Right.
And somewhere in those fragments lies this incredible prophecy. It was so radical, honestly, that even scholars of Thoth sometimes just dismissed it.
That's a huge claim right there. Okay, let's unpack Thoth's vision then. He apparently foresaw an age when Earth would shift, energetically, spiritually.
Correct. A time when chaos would rise, maybe truth would get harder to find, and humanity would kind of drift away from its source, his inner wisdom.
It sounds a bit familiar, unfortunately.
Doesn't it? But Thoth wrote that in that darkness, a vital light would return, and it would come through the most loyal, overlooked companions of all, dog.
Wow. Overlooked companions.
He described them not just as animals, but as vessel, living conduits of divine intelligence, essentially energy beings cloaked in simplicity.
Energy.
Their role, as he saw it, was to guide us back, not with word, but through vibration, through presence, through something modern science still doesn't quite have the language for.
Presence.
It's a really radical idea,
Yeah.
It flips our whole understanding of domestication on its head. What if, by choosing to live with, dogs weren't submitting? What if they were volunteering for a higher purpose?
Volunteering. That's a fascinating way to put it. And it feels, well, particularly compelling when you think about things many of us...
Exactly.
Like, have you ever noticed your dog knowing? It's this uncanny awareness. You can't quite explain it.
Absolutely. The source material we looked at is full of specific examples that line up with... Think about dogs knowing when their human is getting sick, sometimes days before symptoms show up.
Right, I've heard stories like that.
Or barking like crazy seconds before an earthquake hits. Or refusing to leave someone's side when they're in, deep emotional distress. Or even that really common thing, waiting by the door minutes before their owner gets home.
Yeah.
No regular schedule, no car sound, just knowing.
Yeah. How do they do that?
Well, mainstream science often says, super sensitive hearing or smell, or they're just really good at picking up routine. Clever pattern recognition.
Okay.
But there's this growing field. Researchers, healers, people you might call energetically sensitive.
Yeah.
Who think something much deeper is going on.
Deeper how?
They suggest dogs aren't just reacting to our emotion. They might be actively absorbing them, maybe even transmuting them, balancing them out in subtle ways, like they're tuned into frequencies we've just forgotten how to hear.
Okay, so if we follow that thread, what does that deeper knowing actually... Thoth called them guardians of the in-between.
He did.
And the ancient Egyptians called them Anubis's kin, right? Protectors of thresholds, transitions, both physical and, spiritual.
Precise. And we see hints of this heightened awareness everywhere. There are documented studies, often small, but still, dogs detecting cancers before a diagnosis. There's that famous case of a dog persistently sniffing a melanoma.
I think I've read about that.
They can pick up on epileptic seizures before the person feels anything. They seem to sense emotional trauma without a word spoken. It's like they navigate these energetic minefields.
Energetic minefields.
Yeah, refusing to enter certain houses.
Yeah.
Maybe acting really anxious around specific people, or even physically putting themselves between you and something you can't see.
Wow.
And this isn't just random stories anymore. Behaviorists and healers are actually starting to connect, documenting these patterns across continents. People who don't know each other are reporting remarkably similar, really unusual experiences.
That makes you think about the bond, the personal connection we have. The sources even mention soul contracts. This idea that maybe humans and dogs are paired up, not just by chance, but by some deeper resonance, often through rescues or adoptions or these encounters that just feel meant to be. It definitely gives a whole new weight to that phrase you hear all the time. My dog.
Thoth apparently described their role as multidimensional. Part energetic healer, part emotional recalibrator, part psychic sentinel.
Sentinel, like a guard?
In a way, reading not just our body language, but the subtle layers of a person's frequency, like a living antenna for our emotional field.
Okay.
And when something's off, the dog often steps in. Not aggressively, but with this incredible presence, maybe pressing their body against you at just the right moment.
Yeah, they do that.
Or barking at seemingly nothing. Or just locking eyes with you until you feel, I don't know, calmer, grounded.
Yes, that day.
Thoth believed these weren't trained things. They were intuitive, like encoded behaviors. He suggested dogs act as bridges, kind of walking between worlds, bringing messages from the unseen into our reality.
Bridges.
In a world that's so noisy and distracting, maybe these animals are helping us get back to the language of energy, emotion, instinct. There are even accounts of dogs disrupting thoughts, not actions.
What does that mean?
Like pulling someone out of bed before they sink into a really deep depression. Or barking sharply during a panic attack, like they're trying to break the cycle before it fully grabs hold. Or sitting silently beside someone who is in a very dark place mentally.
That's incredible. And this leads us to maybe one of the most mind-bending parts mentioned in these texts.
Oh, yes.
The second phase of the canine awakening. Thoth apparently called it direct mind-to-mind communication.
It sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? But it's a reality many owners are starting to report now. Dogs responding to thoughts, not just actions or commands.
Like what?
Like if you think about going for a walk, and before you even reach for the leash, they're right there at the door, excited.
Okay, that happens.
Or you just think about calling your dog inside, and suddenly they're trotting in from the yard before you've said a word. Some people even report shared dreams.
Shared dreams? Seriously?
Vivid dreams, yeah. Waking up from a specific vision and finding their dog whimpering, twitching, maybe acting out bits of the dream. Thoth called dogs holders of the golden thread.
Golden thread?
Meaning their ability to connect deeply and transmute human emotion through energetic presence. It's not just empathy, feeling what you feel. It's actively transforming it.
Transforming it.
Like the texts say, you cry and their calm grounds you. You panic and their stillness wraps around. And, science is actually starting to catch up in a way.
How so?
Emerging studies show dogs can help regulate our nervous systems just by being near.
Yeah.
Measurable things like improved heart rate variability, lower cortisol, more oxytocin, which is perfectly with Thoth's idea that these pure beings were sent to help recalibrate us. And this telepathy idea, it's seen as a return to what he called the silent thread.
The silent thread.
Yeah, that pre-speech connection, that resonance that maybe once linked all life, like we're remembering an original design.
Okay, let's zoom out again. The sources suggest that all this upheaval we see globally, pandemics, climate stuff, societal divides. According to Thoth, this chaos wasn't random. It was predicted, like alarms going off, signaling a bigger awakening for humanity, a sort of vibrational tipping point.
Exactly. And right at that critical moment, when things feel most unstable, Thoth believed this hidden force would step up to help, acting as energetic stabilizers.
Stabilizers, meaning the dogs.
Yes. He used this amazing phrase, they drink darkness and breathe light.
Wow.
Describing dogs as transmuters of shadow, absorbing spiritual gunk, emotional toxins. You might even notice this mirroring effect yourself.
Mirroring?
Yeah, like on days you feel really heavy or stressed, does your dog seem extra tired or withdrawn too?
Sometimes, yeah.
They seem to act like energetic filters in our homes. Yeah. Just by moving through the space, they subtly balance chaotic frequencies. Ancient Egyptian priests, the priests of Chem, apparently kept dogs in initiation temples.
Really?
Not as pets, but as energetic sentinels. Their job was to absorb the intense emotional stuff people were releasing during deep spiritual work. But, and this is really important, we have to recognize the toll this can take on them. Many sensitive dogs today show signs of fatigue, being overwhelmed, even depression. It's like they're carrying more than they should.
That's concerning.
It really is. And it makes you ask, are we giving back? Are we reciprocating this incredible healing and support they offer us?
That's a heavy question. And it leads to maybe the most profound idea. Thoth didn't just write about dogs as helpers. He wrote about them as incarnated souls?
Yes. Spirits who chose fur instead of flesh, 4 legs instead of 2, in order to guide humanity during its most fragile metamorphosis.
Incarnated soul, choosing to be dogs.
It sounds extraordinary, I know. Until maybe you feel you've experienced it. Thoth called these beings luminaries, souls who veil themselves in a humble form, spirits who maybe once walked in higher realms but volunteered to come here.
How would you even know?
He said they wouldn't arrive with trumpets and fanfare. They'd show up when needed most, often found in shelters, as strays, rescued. Dogs, this system might have discarded, but they have this silent weight behind their eyes. Exactly. That weird, undeniable sense of destiny when a dog just seems to... The timing, the immediate connection you can't explain. For many people, that's not coincidence. It feels like a soul contract being reawakened.
And this isn't just Egypt.
No, not at all. You see echoes in another tradition. The Tibetan Book of the Dead talks about animal spirits. Some Native American beliefs speak of spirits choosing animal forms for a purpose. Think about psychopomp, guides between worlds like Cerberus in Greek myth, or Xolotl for the Aztecs, often canine figures.
Right, the dog.
These specific guide dogs often show unusual traits, incredibly deep intuition, maybe vivid dreaming, arriving with these fully formed, old soul personalities, sometimes reacting to things we can't see. Thoth's idea was that the dog form bypasses our human defenses. Our ego lowers. Our heart opens more easily to an animal. So they serve as a kind of mirror to our truest self. And that intense grief when a dog like this passes, the prophecy suggests it's because they've lost a guide, a silent teacher, a soul who maybe didn't come to stay forever, but came to shift something inside you permanently.
Wow.
Ultimately, the texts imply you'll just know if yours is one of these guys. It's a feeling deep down. It doesn't need proof.
So this whole deep dive, it really isn't just about ancient Egypt or Thoth or even just about dogs in an abstract way.
No, it connects much deeper.
It feels like it's about you listening, about that part of you that maybe always suspected the world was more than it seemed, that these connections were real.
Exactly. These ancient teachings, they aren't just coming back at old books or temples. They're returning in living, breathing beings right beside us. This isn't fantasy. It's tapping into something some call cellular memory or soul memory.
A kind of knowing.
A deep, inherent knowing. And dogs, just by their pure presence, they remind us that love is the highest wisdom, that just being present is powerful.
And this moment we're in, historically, all the upheaval, the confusion, the loneliness, these texts basically said, yeah, this is coming.
They did.
And maybe your dog isn't here just to keep you company through it all. Maybe they're here to help keep you awake.
It's a powerful perspective.
So the next time you look into their eyes, really look. What do you feel when they look back? What's passing between you without any words? What's that deeper knowing that maybe you've been ignoring? The world wants us distracted, maybe cynical, numb, but you're here listening to this. And that means for you, it's probably already begun.
The remembering.
Yeah. Your dog isn't here to complete you. Maybe they're here to remind you that you were never actually broke, that just being present is enough, that love is real, that truth doesn't always taught. Sometimes needs to be remembered from within.